What's going on, guys? Mal here again. Figured I'd do a quick response video. I have the dual output ringer generator board about to be fired up, and basically it's two negative resistant ringers with their wireless outputs in series to give us about 140 volts DC that can power up light bulbs very brightly. And this is also a bit of a video response to what if I did this. He wanted to know if I elevated the coils on top of a bit of plastic, would the output increase or decrease? And so far it seems for this system there was no change on the output power. I was going to test it with just a single one on the generator board, but I forgot I had zip tied it down so I can't lift up the coil. But anyway, I'll show it on this one. I'll turn it on, and the dual output ringer generator board is very powerful. This is the output that is used to recharge your battery that then runs your inverter. This is how much negative resistant output we have now. So our power consumption is a little under 3 amps, and there's just no improvement or degradation of having the coils away from the aluminum heatsink. What does seem to improve the system is the correct value capacitor. When I add another capacitor here, this is a 0.22 UF. I'm not sure if you can see that, but when I add the capacitor, the bulb gets brighter and my power consumption decreases a little bit. So I figured I would show that video. I'll also do a power reading here on the output. And once again, this is the negative resistant output that would go into your battery to supercharge it. So our power output while running the load is 57 volts. If I disconnect the load, our voltage is I can disconnect the load. Our voltage open circuit is 110 volts DC. And while we can supercharge batteries with that high frequency output and run loads, we also have phenomenal wireless power. This is just a type of loop stick with a light on it. Even just touching it to the rod causes it to glow, which is very interesting. During operation, the met glass laced ferrite rods do become slightly magnetic. I'm not sure if you can see that. It's actually slightly sticking to it. Hopefully you can see that. And yeah, and I can increase the power output again with the correct value capacitor. The power output increases while my input power decreases. So that's a very good sign that you have negative resistance. And once again, to sum it up, I created two negative resistant ringers. Put that wireless output power, because they're inductively coupled to the negative resistance circuit. The yellow coils are inductively coupled to the negative resistance circuit, and I put the output of the coils in series to give us between 110 to 140 volts DC. If I were to ground this end, I'd probably get about 140 volts DC. So just figured I'd show that video. I'll disconnect the meter. And I think I will demonstrate the supercharge effect with this system too, which is very scary. We're really homing in on the negative resistant effect. Nothing's even getting hot during operation anymore, which is very good, means we're very efficient. I'll get this old school battery that's dead, shouldn't even be charged or used in videos. It was given to me for free. We'll hook up to it, and we will watch this thing just get supercharged. So it's sitting at a voltage of 12.53. I will then turn the circuit on, hook up to it, and again, this is our negative resistant wireless output from the yellow coils in tandem with each other, powering the bulb, because I'm testing that output to get it as powerful as I can get. The two yellow coils are inductively coupled wirelessly to our two negative resistant identical RLC circuits. And I will now connect it to this dead battery and show you the rapid recharge effect. And here's the rapid recharge effect. The negative resistance has just gone insane on this thing. Power consumption at 3 amps. And where this system is now starting to shine and come into play is you can now recharge massive deep cycle batteries extremely quickly with this system. The resonant output is equal to your input with the addition of wireless power at no extra input cost to the user when earth grounded, meaning when I earth ground this, which is my green wire here, I will now have phenomenal wireless power to the point where it's mind bending. And I'm probably gonna have to shut that off soon because we're gonna overcharge the battery. And this battery struggles to hold charge because it's completely dead, should have never been charged. And what that negative resistant output does is it does a supercharging effect on batteries, and the newer your battery, the quicker it will recharge. And basically what's occurring is when you calculate your power factor over time, this system gives you more power over time than your input drain because of how quickly you can recharge huge batteries and then recycle that energy back into the system. So I'm going to try and find my little wireless light now that we earth grounded the system and show you just how insane the wireless power becomes with that earth ground. So I use this as a little detector. I turn the system on. We are on. The rapid recharge effect is in play now. We have phenomenal wireless power, almost to the point where it doesn't make sense. Like, you can ground this in the dirt up to 500 feet around your property and it will light up. You can touch this to any random metal object, it will light up. So there's either some type of scalar component here or an unknown effect occurring here, which is very odd. Like, a system that small and efficient shouldn't be able to conjure up wireless power effects that are that crazy. And I'm gonna have to shut this off. I'm in danger of overcharging that battery. This battery does not have a built-in BMS like the super capacitor hybrids I use. So I'm just demonstrating the rapid recharge effect. Again, this is our raw output that recharges the battery. Just gonna make sure there's no heat on anything. There shouldn't be. Nope, there's no heat. When you replicate this system, you have to do it exact. Notice how I have a 0.22 UF capacitor on just one leg of the coil. Completely identical. That is the raw negative resistant output that is doing the supercharge effect. And for those who doubt it, I have a picture of the exact Don Smith system. And notice how he has, like I do, because I wound my coil exactly like he did. He based his off of the Tesla patent 336961. And notice how he has the exact same capacitor on just one half of that coil. It has to be the correct value capacitor or you will get no output, no power output. That's why I say you got to build the system exactly as I describe and exactly as I say, and with the exact value capacitors, otherwise you will get no power output. It's the difference between full power output and no power output. And once again, to sum it up, we're actually now consuming 2.5 amps running this bulb what looks like at a full 40 watt intensity. This is a halogen bulb. That's actually really hot. I shouldn't even be touching that. Once again, what we have going on is we have two negative resistant ringer circuits in tandem working with each other. We have the wireless outputs that's inductively coupled to the primary negative resistant circuit, the negative resistant RLC circuit. We're inductively coupled to it. We put the two yellow coils output in series for a higher pulsed DC voltage that can do much more work. And I can tune this output even further with the correct value capacitor. Hopefully you can see that getting brighter. When I add another 0.22 UF capacitor here, my it's supposed to decrease the power input, but it seems like the system randomly spiked up to 3 amps again. I'm not sure sometimes whether the system alternates between drawing 2.5 amps or 3 amps, but the bulb brightness maintains the same luminosity or same intensity. So that's very interesting. Maybe because now we grounded it and some more odd effects are at play. That could be it. Here's the voltage on our dead battery that experienced the supercharge effect for what, maybe a minute or two. Our voltage went from 5.2 to 0.68 for resting voltage. So that's just further demonstration of the supercharge effect. This board that I'm perfecting now will be the dual output board that can supercharge huge 500 amp hour marine batteries very quickly. It would ideally be used to charge 500 amp hour Lifey PO4 batteries with a built-in battery management system so you don't accidentally overcharge it. It has built-in BMS up to 200 volt DC input, so you're off running. And it's just absolutely crazy. So I figured I'd demonstrate that once again. Having the coils elevated off of the aluminum doesn't seem to benefit this system, which is interesting. I'll shut it off. We will check for heat. This coil is slightly warm, but it's interesting to note this one isn't. Not really warm enough to be worried, just slightly warm. So yeah, I figured I'd show that video. Thank you again to everybody. Again, that's how it looks. Also, you never want, if you build this and replicate it, because in theory there's no limit to the amount of these you can build, and you keep combining the output of the wireless coils in parallel or series or whatever you want for all the power you want, all the negative resistant output power you want, which will become insane. There's no limit to the amount you can combine. The only thing you have to be aware of is leaving the system open circuit causes your diodes to heat up. You don't want to leave it open circuit. Short-circuiting it would be bad. Your power consumption would drop to almost nothing, and your diodes would melt for some reason. You basically want to respect the system, have it always recharging the appropriate battery, which would be a battery with a built-in BMS. And this thing is actually, honestly, almost a little scary, because what you hook up to it, the wireless power just becomes amplified phenomenally while maintaining the rapid recharge effect. So you turn that thing on, and your wireless power effects are just nuts. Like, this battery's not even connected, and it's getting wireless power somehow. We're not even recharging that battery. Just the battery being in the vicinity of the operating system causes it to act as a wireless power emitter, which is the strangest thing. It is a negative resistant energy system, probably negative entropy because we have negative resistance. The effect cannot be denied. It came right out of a textbook. That's what negative resistance looks like on an oscilloscope. Your waveform starts small and gets big. Get a nice good look at it. The effect is completely undeniable at this point, so people who want to doubt it, you can doubt it all you want. Doesn't I don't care about what people's feelings are. I don't care what you were taught in school. I only care about what the truth of the matter is, what things are. You have to separate your feelings from facts, and when doing research and science, and this stuff absolutely seems to work. It's real, it's factual. We have a very large amount of negative resistant energy manifestation with the system, so it's the correct arch form for extreme power manifestation and very impressive effects. So yeah, I figured I'd say that. Everything, all my work, all the schematics listed for free, exact schematics. I have a lot of people too emailing me, telling me I should build them stuff and give it away completely for free. No, that's not how it works. No business does that. So, for all the people complaining and whining that you all want stuff built and given away to you for free, I give you the exact schematics on how to build it for free. So, I don't understand what you want. You could give someone $1 million and they'd still complain. I hide nothing behind paywalls. I hide no knowledge behind paywalls. I listed in my YouTube community post the exact circuit schematic how to build this, the exact negative resistance circuit schematic, the exact yellow coil schematic, the 336961 Tesla coil schematic. So I don't understand why people are like, oh, you should build it and give it to me for free. No, it's not how any business works. No business gives anything away for free. So figured I'd just say that. Also clear the air that I hide absolutely nothing behind a paywall. I hide apps, and then people are complaining and telling me, oh, well, I don't want to go to your Patreon to see all the free information. Well, then that's your problem if you don't want to go to the Patreon and see the information. You don't have to pay to see it. It's listed for free on the Patreon. And it's even listed for free on YouTube community posts. So, at the end of the day, people just complain to complain. The knowledge is there for free. You can see it on YouTube community posts, my most recent one. Or you can view it on Patreon for completely free. And then people complain, oh, well, I don't want to sign up for a free Patreon account. Well, that's your problem then. If you don't want to sign up for a free account, that's your problem. I use it as my main website, the Patreon. You're complaining about things that are free. You sign up for an Amazon account, it's free. So, but anyway, that's just a little bit of a rant explaining things, clearing the air. Nothing's locked behind a paywall. We build and sell these systems. That's because the end goal of our company is the dream to become a small commercial electrical research company, because as it stands, there's no commercial electrical research companies actually doing anything useful, or if they are, they're not sharing the work they discover with the public. It's almost as if electrical research is dead. We don't engage in it as a society. It's just, boom, here's your utility bill, pay it. Here's your utility bill, pay it. Electrical research is dead. It's your gas generator is powering the grid, your solar panels power the grid, here's your electric bill, pay it. There's no more electrical research. So our goal is to use the most efficient materials to create these power systems. And again, we'll feel for heat. Everything is completely cooled down. Nothing really got that hot to begin with. We have the system elevated up off the aluminum. Didn't really make a difference in the output, which I find surprising. And yeah, again, basically just most of modern science is so misguided and so full of themselves. I mean, you talk to any electrician, they have no fucking clue about half the things regarding this technology. So, again, we'll see that extreme recharge effect. Now we'll switch the system on, and this is just insane. Yeah, that's wild. And while it does that, we have wireless power we can tap into. in different spots of the circuit while it's doing that effect. Even the battery becomes a wireless transmitter of power somehow. I'm going to have to shut this system off because it's charging that battery too much. So, figured I'd demonstrate that, talk about that. And at the end of the day, because this system uses high frequency energy, similar to a heat pump, to move more power over time than its input drain. That's the theory behind it. The full theory of its operation is not pseudoscience based in any way. It's based off of real electrical engineering. The theory behind it is we create a negative resistant primary ringer circuit. We constructed a super joule ringer 3.0 circuit, first invented by lasersaber or laser hacker. Now what we do different is we don't tap into that high frequency power directly. We make it an open circuit negative resistant RLC circuit, meaning we use the correct components for negative resistance. I have 3 carbon film resistors in parallel. Each one is 5 watts apiece. Each resistor is 30K in parallel, 3 total, for a total resistance of 10K with 15 watts of power dissipation. You have to use carbon film resistors. Wire wound will detune the system. And the theory behind its operation is we make a nonlinear, negative resistant primary RLC circuit that we then earth ground for possibly more nonlinearity, a gain in power. You can see that power with the wireless power effects at no input cost to us. And then once we have that negative resistant RLC circuit established, that's in contact with the earth and highly nonlinear, we then try to tap that power, that wireless power circuit, inductively and resonantly. So we separate cause from effect in theory to get more energy output over time, along with wireless power effects that do not put a drain on our input source. So I'm running a light bulb, 40 watt bulb, to full intensity with our negative resistant output. I then also have wireless power I can tap into with no form of input draw or degradation on the input. We are not drawing more power. As long as we stay resonant, we don't draw more power from the source. This load is lit fully, and we have unlimited wireless power to tap into at phenomenal rates as long as we maintain that earth-ground connection. That's the theory behind it, based behind Nikola Tesla, Don Smith, and Eric Dollard. And that effect seems to hold true for the most part. It's a delicate balance of tuning, and so we have that 40 watt bulb being run off the negative resistant output. We have our wireless coil lit right there, and we just have, like I said, an unlimited amount of wireless power that can be tapped. So I figured I'd demonstrate that, show that. From now on, I always link the ringer construction guide video in all my videos on how to build this. Again, there's our input power, a little less than 3 amps. And you can just keep tapping an unlimited amount of wireless power off the system while maintaining the super battery charge effect. The exact board you get now on the generator board looks like this, much more cleaned up, much more refined. The output power increased. The price has dropped due to the refinement of components. The price has dropped from $1,200 to $999. Once I calculate the fee loss that Patreon and taxes take out, the updated price will be up there. But the price definitely dropped by like $200 or $300 due to the refinement of everything. So I explained the theory behind how it works, how it should operate. None of this is pseudoscience based. All based back on real electrical engineering. I have charts up here, schematics, pages ripped out of old textbooks. You can clearly see the negative resistant waveform here. I'm in contact with people who have the real Don Smith stuff that completely works, no question about it. A real printout picture. Notice how I copied his exact capacitor on just half the coil. And yeah, figured I'd just show that. Basically just silence the skeptics. And once again, highly nonlinear system in contact with the Earth. It's theorized we have energy synthesis occurring due to the fact it's an open nonlinear system. We're negative resistant. We're tapping our power wirelessly with the hopes of decoupling cause from effect. So a lot of this work is based off Don Smith, Eric Dollard, and Nikola Tesla. And at the end of the day, when you're dealing with non-conventional electronic circuits, the conservation of energy laws break down, and they don't hold true. The conservation of energy was originally founded and formed to apply to closed mechanical systems, and then academia applied it to everything, which is incorrect. For example, you can have over 100% efficient heat pumps when you calculate how much heat or cold air they move over time compared to the energy input. This system seems to conjure up and disturb a near unlimited amount of wireless power, either from the ambient environment or the ether. So that's important to know. We can just keep tapping wireless power at no additional input cost to the user. And you get that, if you get it just right, watch how my input power drops. My input power drops. The more of a wireless load you put on the system while it's in residence, the more your input power will drop. That wireless light's bright. This 40-watt bulb is bright from the negative resistance circuit, and we still have impressive wireless power. And if you doubt the system is doing that, I shut it off, it's off. So I figured I'd make that video. I'm getting real tired of hearing a lot of people just non-stop send me spam mail or just a bunch of comments. Oh, you should build it, give it away for free, do this for free. The exact schematic is completely for free how to build. I don't hide anything behind paywalls. Nothing I do is restricted in any way. You don't have to pay me a penny to know how to build this system exactly the way I built it. So, like I said, you can give someone $1 million and they'll still complain, but that's a quick demonstration of the system, a quick demonstration of how things are. The world we live in is absolutely crazy right now. The state I live in, we now have more illegal immigrants in it than we do normal citizens. The price of everything keeps skyrocketing. It's almost completely impossible for my friends to afford to buy a home. So if you don't believe that there's an active agenda by the world to completely hurt the average citizen, I'm sorry, but you've got your head up somewhere you don't want to know. Our entire system, our entire world is built off a monetization system to extract all the energy from you and all your resources from the moment you're born till the moment you die. Why do you think you're given a social security number? This society is on the brink of collapsing. It's either on the brink of collapsing, and it will either get better after the collapse, or worse, with more socialism. Like I said, if you doubt it, you've got your head buried somewhere the sun don't shine. It's completely undeniable at this point. Just the fact, look at the border crisis. And I'm not against immigration at all, but we literally have countries dropping off their illegal immigrants into our country we literally have other countries dropping off jailed inmates, psychopaths into our country. So if that's not an agenda to hurt us, I don't know what is. And you'll never learn this stuff in school. School's just to indoctrinate you, make you another gear in the cog, a peasant for the big system. And they want to keep raising input tax and capital gains tax. So if you don't believe the entire world we live in is a scam designed to extract all your energy, all your time, and all your resources from you, from the day you're born to the day you die, then you're just a naive fool. And it's getting worse, too. So I absolutely have all this information listed for free on how to build it. I don't hide anything, nothing's held behind a paywall. Figured I'd just lay the facts out. I'm not putting my opinion in anything regarding the state of the world. I'm simply stating facts. I may sound a little angry, I'm a little irritated. I basically work 7 days a week, never have a day off, always build this stuff. I'm at work full time to pay the bills on my farm, just non-stop work. I'm not complaining though. Always gives me something to do, gives me purpose, which is to non-stop invent, engineer this stuff, perfect it. I have a deep hunger to always improve it, so I figured I'd say that, talk about it. The only thing I'm for and a big supporter of is good people with decency. And the state I live in is just attacking you from all angles, left and right. The whole country is. If you don't believe the entire world is on the brink of either a collapse or something big, then you're just naive, man, and you just don't want to face the truth. Just at my local grocery store, I see manic people shopping, people complaining they can't afford food. We have immigrants now at my local grocery store shopping with full face masks on, full sunglasses and a hat, and they're only asked to leave once they cause problems. So I figured I'd talk about that, the state of the world, what we're in, and a lot of electrical information. It's not just electrical information. A lot of everything is kept suppressed, because at the end of the day, the companies of the world want to monetize as much money off of you as possible. That is the goal. Earth is almost becoming a clown backwater planet. If aliens exist, I'm sure they fly by our planet and laugh and go, look at these humans, they charge each other just to exist. They have to pay a bill to live, they pay a bill when they die, they get an identification number when they're born, they pay for this, pay for that, and it keeps increasing. I mean, no human on this planet should pay for energy, no human on this planet should pay for healthcare, water. Everyone should have free food, water, healthcare, and electricity. Free 3 basic meals a day. If you're working, you should get free power, free healthcare, and free 3 meals a day. No one with a full-time job should struggle to afford to live or buy food in this world. So, figured I'd talk about that, and that's really hot. That's the pure negative resistant output. I don't have the scope hooked up to it. Was just showing a few things in this video. I don't usually rant, I usually keep it professional and science, but I ranted a bit to shut the skeptics up and to shut the whiners up. Nothing's locked behind a paywall. All the skeptics can suck it up, make a Patreon account to see everything they want, or they can just check the YouTube community post and see the full schematic. It's a 5-page post of the exact schematic. You don't need a mech glass laced ferrite rod for the system. It just helps with a 5 to 10% efficiency gain. Like I said, it just I want to use the best efficient components. I don't even use the cold cathode neons anymore. I refined the circuit and simplified it so much we don't even need the cold cathode neons. And again, for those out there who refuse to believe it or just don't understand it or think this work isn't true, the theory behind it, we create a super joule ringer circuit, which is extremely energy efficient by itself. Then what we do different is we don't use that high frequency output power directly. We feed it into a negative resistant RLC network that is an open, nonlinear system. We make it more open by earth grounding it. We are now in contact with the Earth's electrical system. We now then possibly have a gain in power in our negative resistant RLC circuit, and we don't tap that power directly. We tap it wirelessly, inductively, and resonantly to avoid detuning the primary circuit. In this case, the wireless coil that does that wireless tapping is a Tesla coil wound per patent 336961. Those are the diodes that come off it. The correct value capacitor there is 0.22 UF. The 2 capacitors here are 1 nanofarad apiece on our primary negative resistant RLC circuit. For some reason, 2 1 nanofarads in parallel work better than just a 2 nanofarad. Not sure why. Maybe because it adds more mass to the circuit for the negative resistant oscillations to bounce between. And again, keep your leads as short as possible to avoid stray waveforms bouncing. I connected the two outputs in series for a higher voltage output. That wire should probably be a little shorter for better performance, but you can also negate that a little bit with the correct value capacitor. Like I said, I connect the correct value capacitor. The bulb gets brighter while our input power drops a little bit. I'm going to zoom right in on that when I add the capacitor. So I'm adding the capacitor now. Our bulb is brighter and our input power drops, which is very interesting. And I'm sure our wireless power effects increase too while doing that. So yeah, then I'll shut the system off. We were witnessing the wireless power output do that. That is our negative resistant wireless power from the two yellow coils operating in tandem with each other, which would be in series, to do that. That can then do the rapid recharge effect of batteries and create extreme wireless power while that effect occurs. I know I'm repeating myself a lot, but I have to, because a lot of people just refuse to understand either the system, they refuse to understand basic electrical engineering, or they just don't care, or they don't get it, or they just like to say, oh, it's a load of horse crap, you're hiding stuff. No, there's nothing hidden anywhere, so good luck with that. Absolutely nothing hidden. Hopefully I can lift this up without breaking anything. Absolutely nothing hidden, it's a plain piece of wood. So, that's how that works. I dropped something, I think I dropped my little wireless light, but oh well. Anyway, that's that. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe, join the Patreon for free. We have a free archive of ancient electrical engineering knowledge that you can browse, all completely free. Schematics how to build this, all for free, nothing hidden behind a paywall. We're building and selling the utmost efficient systems we can for experimentation, with the end goal of it being even further improved upon by you guys. So it's an amazing community, wouldn't be here without everyone. And yeah, figured I'd just say that, demonstrate that, send a thank you again to everybody, and as I said, there's just no improvement, no degradation moving the coil away from the aluminum, which is very interesting. That's not usually always the case with systems like this. Usually aluminum would cause a detuning effect, but for some reason it doesn't seem to with ours. So this is too long of a video, and good day everybody, and thank you.